Good Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Congresswoman Grace Meng from Queens, New York, and I want to once again thank all of you for being here this afternoon on the Friday before a holiday weekend. Feel free to turn your cameras on, but please stay muted when you are not speaking. I'm so delighted to be joined by so many of my colleagues in government on all levels, city, state, and federal, and they have been strong advocates in spearheading this movement to recognize Diwali as a school, city, and state holiday here in New York. I'm proud to, as many of you, been a long supporter, and we continue to push for and call for this. I'm proud to join all of you here as we announce today that I am introducing federal legislation to make Diwali a federal holiday. And this bill is, if everyone can mute, please. This bill is called the Diwali Day Act. And this is something that I am proud as an Asian American to introduce this during our Heritage Month. And as you may know, we are also pushing similar efforts for Lunar New Year and Eid. As I'm sure you all know, Diwali is one of the most important holidays of the year for many people of South Asian, Southeast Asian, and Indo-Caribbean descent, as well as for the Hindu, Buddhist, Sikh, and Jain religious communities. Diwali, also called the Festival of Lights, symbolizes the triumph of good over evil and is a time for celebration, reflection, prayer, and gatherings with family, friends, and loved ones. A federal holiday for Diwali would give millions of families the time deserved to celebrate together, as well as educate others about the history and significance of this auspicious day. Asian Americans are the fastest growing ethnic group in this country. Our culture and traditions are America's culture and traditions. And establishing this federal holiday, as well as for our communities, some of our communities' other important holidays like Lunar New Year and Eid, would demonstrate that this nation recognizes and celebrates the full face of American diversity. I look forward to working with all of you here today to continue advocating to make Diwali a federal holiday. Now, closing our schools for Diwali would be a major component of a federal holiday, and we are honored to have a special guest with us, the man who runs New York City's public schools, our school's chancellor, David Banks. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, thank you so much, and good afternoon, everyone. I wanted to thank you all for gathering here with us virtually today. I wanted to thank you, Congresswoman Meng, for being a constant, committed advocate for our city's children. You've always shown up for the students and families of Queens, and I deeply appreciate your partnership and so many others who are joining us on this call today. So today, the Congresswoman has taken a historic step forward toward honoring the communities who celebrate Diwali, not only in our city, but all across the country. I think that's a huge, huge deal. We're really excited.
Where are your speakers on? Oh, are they hooked? No,
somebody has to mute. But the diversity of our city and our country is what strengthens us. And we'd be remiss if we didn't acknowledge the members of our community who are Hindu, Sikh, Jain, and Buddhist. And I think it's really important that we show them through our actions that we value their heritage, not just with words and lip service. And I've been publicly supportive of state legislation that would allow for the New York City public schools to acknowledge and observe Diwali. I'm proud that New York City Public Schools continues to be a strong partner with the community as they fight for this recognition. And so today, on behalf not just of myself, but the mayor of the city of New York, I stand virtually alongside Congresswoman Mang and the communities that celebrate this beautiful festival of lights in support of making it a federal holiday. We should all hope to emanate light as we walk through this city and throughout this world. So thank you, Congressmember, for what you're doing. And I see so many other members of the legislative bodies, state and city, who are here as well. And it just does my heart proud to see us all in the middle of a righteous fight, and a fight that we are absolutely going to win. And please know that I stand shoulder to shoulder with you in making it happen. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you so much to our school's chancellor here in New York City. And I have to give a special shout out to one of our New York City deputy commissioners, Dilip Chauhan, who I've been talking about this issue with many years, and thank him for helping to lead the fight. We'll now hear brief remarks from our local elected officials, and we turn the program over to my good friend, Queens Councilwoman Linda Lee, who recently spearheaded and passed her resolution in the City Council supporting a New York City school holiday for Diwali.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you so much, Congresswoman Mang, and of course, Chancellor Banks, for being with us in this fight. And then, of course, to so many of my colleagues in government who are here. I know Assemblywoman Jennifer Rajkumar, who has also been doing this work on the state level, is on. And of course, we have folks, Councilmember Krishnan and I, who have been working hard at the city to fight this along with many of our colleagues. And of course, Assemblywoman Grace Lee and Stephen Raga. Sorry, there's a lot of folks. Senator Joe Adabo. I'm gonna stop because I'm gonna get in trouble if I don't say hi to everybody. But more importantly, I think this is significant. I think those of us in the community that have been fighting for this holiday, as well as Lunar New Year for so many years, it's significant in so many ways, because it really is a recognition that our communities matter, that they are important, and that our holidays and our cultures that we bring to New York City are important and valued. And I think given the rise in hate crimes that we've seen over the years, I'm hoping that, bringing these holidays into our schools will really help at a very young age teach our children the importance of the diversity of the city and how wonderful it is to celebrate all of these different cultures in our schools, and to really learn about why these holidays are so important and meaningful. And, Diwali is a holiday that 1.1 million AAPI residents actually celebrate in our city. And so it is exciting to see this being passed and pushed on the federal, state, and city level. And I'm proud to have passed Resolution 164 alongside many of my council colleagues to call New York City Department of Education to establish Diwali as an official holiday for New York City public students. So I just want to say thank you for your leadership, Congresswoman Mang, as well as all of our fellow community leaders who've been fighting this fight for so long. And it really is such a significant moment for all of us. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Councilwoman Linda Lee. And next we go to our great Queens Councilman, Shekhar Krishnan, the first Indian American of the New York City Council. Welcome, Shekhar.
Well, thank you so much, Congressmember Mang, for bringing us all together for this incredibly special and historic piece of legislation. Diwali is such a special holiday for so many of our South Asian Indo-Caribbean communities. And it's really, this holiday like this is a recognition, as Councilmember Linda Lee said as well, of the ways in which we need to make sure that our communities, our cultures, the holidays we celebrate are seen, are visible, are recognized by every level of government, so that we all have time and our children can grow up learning the traditions, having the time and the opportunity to celebrate holidays that I never had a chance to celebrate as a child growing up, because Diwali was not a holiday in our schools, or much less on the federal level at that point in time. And so this is yet again recognition of something long overdue. And as the first Indian American ever elected to our city government in New York City's history, it has a special, very special meaning to me. And I couldn't be prouder to stand here with so many elected officials, organizations, and advocates to make sure this happens. the federal level to recognize Diwali as a holiday, to have it as a school holiday, as the Chancellor mentioned as well, is really an opportunity that is both long overdue in recognition, but also a statement of that our South Asian Indo-Caribbean communities are seen. We are a crucial part of the Asian American communities here in our country, and we're long overdue in recognizing it. So I've got my younger son over here because of a half day as well. So he's running around, but he also appreciates very much Diwali being a school holiday for many reasons, in part because it can be off from school too. So thank you all so much. Thank you, Congressmember Meng, for bringing us together. Look forward to pushing with you together to get this legislation done at the federal level.
Yes, thank you, Shaker. Good luck over there. Before we head to our esteemed state colleagues, I just want to give a quick shout out to our New York State Assembly Speaker, Carl Hastie, who announced on social media this week that he was going to put his efforts behind making Diwali and Lunar New Year holidays as well. Next, we will hear from another great trailblazer, our Queens Assemblywoman, Jennifer Rajkumar.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Namaste, Sitaram, Sat Sri Akal. I am State Assemblywoman Jennifer Rajkumar, and a few years ago, I was honored to make history by becoming the first Indian American woman ever elected to a New York State office, and the first Hindu ever elected in New York. And I am a proud Hindu, but most of all, I am a proud American. And today I am so proud to stand with our extraordinary Congresswoman, Grace Meng, in support of the historic Diwali Day Act. Congresswoman Meng intends to make history by making Diwali a federal holiday. So on behalf of over 4 million Americans that celebrate Diwali, including my own family, I am here to say thank you, Congresswoman Grace Meng. Every single year, Congresswoman Meng ranks as the #1 Asian in New York on the annual Power List. And there is a reason that she is #1 every single year. She is a history maker. She shattered the glass ceilings when she became the first Asian Congresswoman ever in New York. She is the leading voice against hate, against the API community. She led the charge to make Lunar New Year a school holiday in New York City. And now she is going to make history for all South Asian and Indo-Caribbeans in the United States of America. That means all Hindus, Sikhs, Buddhists, and Jains in our great country. Congresswoman Meng and I joined together with all of the elected officials on this call to say proudly that Diwali is not just a holiday. Diwali is an American holiday, and our momentum is tremendous. As we all know, I had the honor of leading the movement to make Diwali a school holiday in New York City schools. And people told us that it was not possible. But we came together and we said that anything is possible. Hundreds of South Asian and Indo-Caribbean New Yorkers joined me in the New York State Capitol, chanting Diwali, holiday, Diwali, holiday. And that chant still echoes in the hallways of the state capitol. And soon the entire state joined us. The entire state of New York joined together and spoke with one voice to say that Diwali must be a school holiday in New York. And as Congresswoman Meng just said, earlier this week, our great Assembly Speaker, Carl Hastie, announced that the legislature will support our bill to make Diwali a school holiday in New York. So I would also like to thank our great speaker, Carl Hastie, for his deep commitment to all of our Asian communities. I'd also like to thank so many people, our great mayor of the city of New York, Eric Adams, for lifting up the cause of Diwali. And also, I have to also acknowledge Linda Lee, the great council member, for her resolution that supported our Diwali legislation. Senator Joe Adabo, who is carrying the Diwali school holiday bill in the Senate and is driving it forward. Thank you so much. Senator Jeremy Cooney of upstate New York, who has just been relentless fighting for the Diwali cause. Senator John Liu, my sister Assemblywoman Grace Lee, who really gathered the entire Pan-Asian coalition together behind the Diwali school holiday bill. Assemblyman Steve Raga for being a force. Dilip Chauhan, Councilmember Shekhar Krishnan, thank you all so much. And now our very own Congresswoman Meng is taking the movement of Diwali national. So I just want to say to everybody, thank you so much. This is a historic day. And today, with the introduction of the Diwali Act, we join together with Congresswoman Grace Meng and say to over 4 million Americans of the Hindu, Sikh, Buddhist, and Jain faiths, we see you, we hear you, your government recognizes you. This is a great day for our country, so thank you, and God bless America.
Thank you, Assemblywoman. And next, I'm honored to call on someone who I have the privilege of sharing a district with, one of the hardest working elected officials I know. So we know when Joe's on the job, he'll get it done. Our State Senator Joe Adabo.
Thank you, Congresswoman Grace Meng, and good afternoon, everybody. And hey, Grace, thank you so much for bringing us all together and starting this weekend off, this holiday weekend off, on the right foot here. Thank you very much. And I want to thank you all for being here. You know, it's great to work with colleagues who truly care, like the ones with us today, genuinely care about serving their constituents. And I want to thank Assemblyman Jennifer Rajkumar. It's been a great partnership in the district. And really pleasure working with her and passing this bill in the state level. And Congresswoman Meng, I wish you all the best on the federal level. You know, again, the reason I love this bill, and again, appreciative of the opportunity to carry it in the Senate, is because of its messaging. It's such a positive message. You know, Diwali is about, like the Congresswoman said, good versus evil, overcoming challenges. It's a positive message. And I love that positive message, and we can certainly use that in today's challenging times. And then the opportunity, once we pass it, to teach others about Diwali and how we can learn about its positive message, and get that through all the schools in our city, state, and hopefully nationally. I think it's important. We live in the most diverse city, state in the country, in the world, and I think we should capitalize on it. And it doesn't happen without everyone's pitching in and the partnership we have here before us on this call. You know, it is a collective effort. And when we do this, when we pass this bill, state or federally, it's because of you. And I want to say thank you. You've reached out to our offices. You've made us know of your concerns and of your desire to move Diwali forward. Thank you. I really appreciate everyone's effort here and their collective voice in one loud voice saying, yes, we need Diwali here in our state and nationally. So I want to say thank you very much. And I look forward to serving you going forward. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Joe. And I think I see Assemblyman Ron Kim, who is the first Korean American elected in New York State. Ron, if you want to say a few words.
Oh, thank you, Grace. Thank you, Congressmember, and thank you to my colleagues. I'm traveling. I am stuck in traffic with my kids sleeping in the back of my minivan. But I didn't want to miss this very historic and important press conference. And we didn't get here overnight. And Congressmember Grace Meng, since the time she was been elected in the State Assembly, had championed these issues so passionately. And the fact, and just for example, even a few years ago, when someone even mentioned the word Diwali, people were confused. People were like, why will we make it a holiday? But now we're at a point, oh, it's not a holiday yet? Like it's because of the normalization and because of the public education, because of Jennifer Rajkumar's passionate cry on the floors of the state capitol, and the coalition that Grace Meng has spearheaded and led us in, we're here at this point where there is no other option than making sure that we go from city to city, state to state, and recognize Diwali and finally get to the final point of making it a federal holiday. So I'm just very honored to be part of this historic moment, and I want to thank all my colleagues for making it happen. Thank you, Congressman.
Thank you, Assemblyman. Safe travels. Next, we have Assemblywoman Grace Lee, who is also co-chair of the AAPI task force in the New York State Legislature.
Thank you so much, Congresswoman Meng. It is such an honor to be here to celebrate this historic occasion to make Diwali a federal holiday. As the co-chair of the Asian Pacific American Task Force, I have been working very diligently with Assemblywoman Jennifer Rajkumar to make sure that we have Diwali as a New York school holiday, and that gets passed in the legislature in the last 9 days of session we have. You know, I believe that we are stronger as a pan-Asian coalition, and nothing could be more representative of that work that we do as a pan-Asian coalition than when the speaker sent out a message to announce that he will make Diwali and Lunar New Year officially recognized holidays in the state of New York. So Jennifer and I were at a press conference earlier today, and she talked about Asian excellence, how we have brought our hard work ethic and our excellence to so many industries. And now it is our time in the world of politics to show what we can achieve. And I am just so proud to be the co-chair of the task force at a time when we have 10 legislators between the Assembly and the Senate who are working so hard to uplift the voices of our Asian community. And the more that we are able to work together in a coalition with our federal partners, the more success, and our city partners as well, the more success that we will continue to see. And I want to thank Congresswoman Grace Meng so much for being a trailblazer. None of us would be here if it weren't for you and for your hard work and efforts and your ability to really lift up the voices of the Asian American community and to lead us and to mentor us. So thank you so much. And I look forward to taking our Diwali movement from Albany to Washington, D.C. And filling the state's capital steps of the state capitol with this movement and with the coalition that's here today.
Thank you so much, Assemblywoman. Now we have our new Assemblyman from Queens, New York, Steve Raga, the first Filipino-American elected in New York State.
Thank you, Congressmember Meng, for bringing us together. Great to see friends from across different stages in our community work here today, and great to see all colleagues in government from the city, state, and federal here with us. This is such an important initiative, and it's great to see us gathering not just to garner that recognition, but also full support to make this a holiday nationally. I know on the state level, we've been seeing it and hearing it as Assemblymember Rajkumar is saying. The Diwali holiday does not, when you hear it in Albany, still ringing through your ears, it's because a few of our assembly members can't take it out of our daily chant. So the Diwali holiday is still a daily chant up in Albany, but we need this and spreading across and as an initiative across our country. Our communities are very, very diverse communities, need this recognition, and it's about time. It's not just an issue for Queens or in the city or across New York State. This is very, very much a national focus, and it's great to see the wide coalition, the broad support that we're bringing here together. So happy to support where I can, work together hand in hand with all our colleagues in government, the folks on the call moving forward, and happy to see this to the finish line. Thanks again, Congressmember Meng, for bringing us together, and looking forward to working with folks.
Thank you, Assemblyman. And thank you, everyone, for your patience as we go through all the speakers. I mean, can you imagine 10 years ago, we wouldn't have this many AAPI elected officials. So this is a good problem. Next, we have our colleague who is holding up upstate New York for our AA and HPI community, State Senator Jeremy Cooney.
Hey, thank you, Congresswoman Meng. When you talk, we listen to you even outside of New York City and Albany. Here in Rochester, your voice matters, and we're so proud to follow your leadership and to be with all of you. I'm sitting here just bursting with pride. Here we are going into an all-American weekend, right? Memorial Day weekend, and yet this Zoom screen shows the visibility of the Asian American community across all different levels of government, right here in New York State. But we're not here just to talk about New York, although I'm certainly very excited to co-sponsor Senator Adabo's bill with Assemblywoman Rajkumar. But we're here to talk about what we're going to do on the national level, because Grace Meng gets it done, not just in New York, but all across the United States. And so I think this is a huge and historic moment for our country. And I am so pleased to offer my full support, not only of the Congresswoman and his legislation, but of all of you and the collective voice that we have. As we said earlier in this press conference, Asian Americans is the fastest growing ethnic minority group in the country. And so our cultural traditions and voices must be heard in public policy. And this bill does just that. So from Rochester, New York, down to New York City, we're standing united with you, Congresswoman, and we thank you for your leadership. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Senator. Now, before the other electeds join us, we will go to our amazing advocates and community leaders, without whom effort and hard work and dedication, none of us would be where we are. And so we are incredibly grateful. First, we will start with Harpreet Singh Toor, President and co-founder of the South Asian for Global Empowerment. Is Harpreet on? Okay, we'll continue to look for him. Next, we have my good friend and our mentor to so many, Dr. Uma Mysore-Kar, President of the Hindu Temple Society of North America. Oh, Dr. Uma, if you could unmute, please.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. And certainly, it's not just a pleasure, but a great sense of pride to be among all of you, especially you, Grace, who have supported us, stood by us at all times. You know, anything I have a problem, now I know I can call Grace, and you have stood by the entire Indian community, and we do really appreciate. And this struggle for making Diwali a holiday, as most of us know, has been going on for a few years. And we used to go to several places and then get some hopes and then come back and the hopes used to shatter. But you have made this a true reality. And I tell you, we as Indians, we as Hindus, we as the South Asians, we feel extraordinarily proud. Having come to this country so many years ago, we are now able to establish and bring back the most important festival, a joyous festival, which is Diwali for all of us. And I think it is just not a festival for just the Hindus or so, but it is also something that we share the goodwill and the sharing of everything that we have. And when you see young children dancing and going, and they were so upset they had to go to school because all other children would be home and said, I have to go to school. But I think now they will be very, very happy to see that the schools will be closed. Thank you so much, Grace. I truly appreciate you thinking of all of us. Good luck.
Thank you, Doctor. Next, we have Ashok Ramsaran, President of the Indian Diaspora Council.
Good afternoon. Congress Member Grace Meng, thank you for sponsoring this bill and holding this important meeting. With names like Jennifer, Joe, Shekhar, Linda, Dilip, and Maisie, how can you go wrong to adding Grace to that? Following its long tradition of embracing diversity and responding positively to the aspirations of its changing population and demographics, the United States has had an unmatched history of responding favorably to be inclusive by bringing more opportunities, recognition, awareness, understanding, and education to make this country the welcome home of millions, the most diverse place in the world to live, to succeed, to contribute, to collaborate, and to make it better for today and tomorrow. Diwali is publicly recognized, as everyone knows, and routinely celebrated in several official U.S. federal, state, and city venues, with high-profile and prominent ceremonies and performances by the President at the White House, at the U.S. Capitol, by governors in different states, city levels, New York City, and including the very chamber and Gracie Mansion. In addition, the occasion of Diwali has been recognized with many prominent proclamations, resolutions, citations from federal, state, and city officials. And it's bringing, as it said, light over darkness and good over evil. By establishing Diwali as a federal holiday, the USA would become more enlightened by embracing this universally accepted celebration. So Thank you again, my dear Congress member, and all elected officials who made this possible to reach this stage. As Dr. Uma said, we have gone there before, but now we see some light. So thank you again and all the good work you're doing.
Thank you so much. Next, we have someone who is literally on the ground taking care of the most vulnerable in our community. Sudha Acharya, Executive Director of the South Asian Council for Social Services.
Hi, I'm sorry, I'm also traveling, so so bear with me. This is wonderful, Grace. It's Diwali. This recognition is not just recognition of Diwali. It's recognition of our communities' contributions to the country they live in. And it's wonderful to be able to say that Diwali is now recognized and people can be happy about that. And thank you so much to you and all the elected officials to make this happen. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Travel safe. Next, we have Ria Chakrabarti, Policy Director for Hindus for Human Rights.
Well, first of all, sorry, there's a really loud ambulance outside my street right now, but thank you so much, Congresswoman, for your leadership and to your team as well for making sure that this bill is as inclusive as possible. So at Hindus for Human Rights, we celebrate the diversity of Hinduism and of South Asian religious and cultural traditions. So we are grateful that this bill reflects that diversity in our South Asian community. Diwali is a cultural touchstone for our communities and is celebrated across geographic, religious, cultural, and caste lines. And so we're overjoyed to see a bill that honors the multitude of celebrations that take place across the Indian subcontinent, the Caribbean, and beyond on Diwali. During this auspicious festival, Hindus convene friends and families, celebrate the victory of justice over injustice, and retell the beloved stories of many divine figures, including Rama and Sita, Kali, Krishna, and Satyabhama. So if Diwali does become a federal holiday, we'll be able to share this with a larger part of our American community.
Thank you so much. Next, we have Dr. Neeta Jain, founder and president of the International Ahimsa Foundation.
Jai Jinendra, Namaste and Sat Sri Akal. Greetings to all who celebrate Diwali. Grace, you really made us proud as you represent the largest South Asian Indo-Caribbean community in your district, in Congressional District. I was really very concerned when Congresswoman Maloney left the office. And then when you text me and you gave me the most precious joy of my life, when you text me and you said, Neeta, I am the sponsor of this bill now. And I said, yes, we are going to get it because we know we have trust in your leadership as always. And I know that whatever you are known as a go-getter. So the Diwali, we are fighting for a long time, as you know, our organization and myself as a district leader. Almost 10 years, we celebrated Diwali in City Hall Chamber just to educate all the city councils like what Diwali means and how important it is, not only for our community, but it is for the wider community, for each and every child who attends the public school. Because as you know that, and you always talk about your boys, and I'm saying that, you know, when our children celebrate other children's culture and heritage, the other should also be aware and know our culture. So it is a high time for equality and justice for all the children who are from South Asian and Indo-Caribbean descent. And so we did a historic press conference. Ashok Ramsaran and everybody was there on 26th of February, 2019, right before the pandemic hit. And we had the first biggest hearing on Diwali in that chamber. And unfortunately, the pandemic came, and then Linda Lee, my best friend and my favorite person, one of my favorite person in council, took a leadership on this, and she got this resolution passed. So we moved one step forward, and now my other sister in assembly, Jennifer Rajkumar, who took another big and bold step. And as she is known for boldness with her red dress, you know, and we all are very fortunate to have all these ladies, especially, I would say, taking charge and leadership for this. And I have full faith in women empowerment. And I have a full faith in our brothers also, because we need both parties to join together and get this done. So Grace, our whole community is really in depth with you for this leadership. And we are here for you from east to west, wherever, whichever city, state you want our support. We are there, as you are always here for us. Thank you so much once again for taking this leadership.
Thank you, Dr. Jane. And now to one of our brothers, Dilip Nath, president of the New American Voters Association.
You know, Ashokji, we need to invite some more men, so I've numbered the sister now. Thank you, Congresswoman Grace Meng, and my Congresswoman. I always proudly say that to bringing us together here for this historic moment. Today is a great day. It's a great day for Hindus, Sikh, and Buddhists. Over 1 billion people across the world. It's a great day for 6 million Americans who celebrate Diwali. It's a great day for Queens. It's a great day for our diversity and inclusion. For too long, this community has been suffering. Here in America, we speak 430 languages from over 193 countries. This makes us the most diverse country in the world. And yet, South Asian and Asian are becoming the most of the hate crime victim in the recent days. And only inclusion of such Diwali and other holiday can overcome the challenge that we are facing today. So Grace, I want to thank you for your leadership, what you have been doing at the Congress and the community, and all of the other elected officials in the city, especially Linda Lee and Brother Shankar Krishnan, and the Assembly, Stephen Raga, Jennifer, and Joe Adabo. Thank you all very, very much. And obviously, we as a community are, as a coalition, behind you to support this and to make our community and every community proud. Thank you again.
Thank you so much. Next, we have Suresh Krishnamurthy, board member at the Coalition of Hindus of North America.
Good afternoon, everybody. As a member of the executive board of KONA, it is my privilege to represent the aspirations of Hindu Americans, a community that has played by the rules and continues to contribute positively to this great experiment in democracy we call America, and join Congresswoman Meng today. Diwali is an important day for the 1.2 billion Hindus worldwide, especially for Hindu Americans. It is the day we celebrate the victory of ethical conduct, dharma, over unethical or adharmic conduct. By lighting the diya on Diwali, we symbolically light the flame of righteous knowledge in our hearts and minds. This pursuit of righteous knowledge and conduct is a universal dharma. Frederick Douglass declared, knowledge makes a man unfit to be a slave. Bertrand Russell wrote that right conduct can never be promoted by ignorance or hindered by knowledge. Recognizing Diwali as a federal holiday is to recognize the pursuit of truth and knowledge and fight the ignorance of hate and discrimination. Although I currently reside in Atlanta, I claim honorary New Yorker status, having lived and worked for many years in the Mid-Hudson Valley, Westchester, Long Island, and New York City. So I'm especially thrilled to join Congresswoman Meng and the legislators of New York State, especially our good friend Jennifer Rajkumar, and others in pushing for this legislation. We promise to work our best for bipartisan support in the US Congress, as well as in New York State for this initiative. So thank you, Congresswoman Grace Meng, for bringing us all together. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Next, we have Dr. Jagdish Gupta, president of the Association of Indians in America, New York chapter.
Thank you, Honorable Congresswoman Mang. The Associations of Indians in America are grateful to you for introducing this bill 3336. As president of the association and on behalf of all our members, we fully endorse this bill wholeheartedly. We are appreciative of your effort. I'm also very proud of our own representative, Ms. Jennifer Rajkumar from New York, who has been very helpful to us. Very proudly, I just want to announce a couple of things that AIA was the first organization which started the biggest Diwali celebration on South Street Seaport in 1982. And I think this is the biggest celebration of Diwali outside India. And that couple of thousand people, all New Yorkers, people come to enjoy and understand with the fireworks the significance of winning the light over the darkness, or the ignorance, or the knowledge over the ignorance. Tamso ma Jyotirgamaya is the philosophy of all those things, and they don't pertain to any particular culture. I think it is for all humanity. And we are very appreciative of your efforts. We are solidly behind you in these efforts. As a president, I am grateful to you, to Jennifer Rajkumar, and all the people who are making this effort to endorse. A lot has already been sent to where it is celebrated, how long is it being celebrated in all the corridors of the government. So I'm not going to repeat those aspects. Thank you very much for inviting me and including me in this great press conference.
Thank you so much. And last, we have Thomas Abraham, Chairman of the Global Organization for People of Indian Origin.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Congresswoman Mang, for inviting us. You brought an array of political leaders, community leaders, media. Our group is an international organization with 100 chapters in 35 countries, but we have a big presence in the United States. It was started here in 1989. And we have 7 chapters in the New York metropolitan area, New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. And we all celebrate Christmas and Thanksgiving. And a holiday for Diwali will convey the great message of Diwali to all over the country. So we will fully support this effort, and we can guarantee you that, especially I live in Connecticut, I'll get the votes of all the 6 congressmen representatives from Connecticut. We'll work through the chapters in different parts of the country, states, and we will get this bill going through the House of Representatives. Thank you, and it's a great effort, and we really are behind you.
Thank you so much. I want to acknowledge some other organizations who are supporting us in this endeavor as well. The Milan Cultural Association, World Hindu Council of America, Hindu Mandir Executives Conference, World Hindu Council of America, the AAPI Commission with Governor Murphy's office, Hindu Jewish Coalition, Indo-American Association for Change. We now open questions for the media, if anyone has questions.
Congresswoman, this is Jacob.
Yeah, I had a question. First of all, Congresswoman Grace Mang, this is Renee Mera, Dr. Renee Mera.
Okay, Renee, and then I think it was Jacob.
Yeah, so first of all, I want to thank you for this landmark legislation because Diwali is universal. It doesn't belong to any one particular community. It is the messages of love, peace, hope, light over darkness, good over evil. My question was, when do you think, once this legislation goes through, when will it actually become into a reality? When will it be a federal holiday? How long will it take?
Sure. Thank you, Renee, for the good question. So some people ask why I'm introducing it now. It's obviously not Diwali, but we wanted to do it during AAPI month to display the diversity of our Asian culture here in America. We are also, I'm a very optimistic person. I want to introduce the bill hopefully early enough so Congress could maybe pass this bipartisan piece of legislation in time for Diwali. So I've been in Congress long enough to know that we cannot predict anything, as you've seen in the news this week. But we wanted to do it early enough, so hopefully we can see it celebrated this year and are very excited because we believe there will be a lot of momentum at the city and state level here in New York as well.
Thank you. Hopefully, yes.
Thank you, Renee. And I think it was Jacob. I'm sorry, I skipped you.
I was going to ask why now, but thank you for answering that. What sort of support have you sort of gotten from your colleagues in Congress? Or this, I know it's early in the process, but
yeah, sure. So a lot of this right now will be kind of a public education process. This bill is a bipartisan bill, Republican, that we do have Republican support. So right now, the first step is to collect as many co-sponsors as possible. And we would love it if people can call your members in all the different states, Republican and Democrat, to try to sign on and to push this bill. I think the more that people know about it and talk about it, the better.
Can you share that bill number and all details? I think Jordan can send it to all of us.
Yes, 3336. The bill number is 3336, Ms. Weber.
Yeah, send it by email. I think send it properly so that we can forward, we can request our representatives to do something right away.
Yeah, we will do that. Thank you.
All the details are in that email with the bill number and who already signed. There are 14 members who already signed.
Yes. Anyone else? Going once, going twice. Well, this concludes our event. Thank you all for your patience and again for joining us on Zoom before a holiday weekend. I hope we all spend some time this weekend remembering our veterans and service members this Memorial Day weekend. And stay safe, everyone. We will be in touch, I'm sure. And once again, thank you so much.
Thank you, Grace.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you all.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you.